I would like to congratulate the government of India and organizations of local authorities for organizing your very successful Municipal ICA conference. As you know, the world urbanization process is going on, and we are already over more than 50% of the population being urban. At the beginning of the 19th century, only 2% of the world population was urban. At the beginning of the 20th century, that jumped to 10%, but at the beginning of the 21st century, we are already at figures of 50%. And the expectations is that in the next 20 to 30, 40 years, we are going to reach 75% of the world population living in urban areas. That presents major challenges which are very well known, and we don't need to insist on them. Especially in the developed world, we know that this requirement of urbanization it's stressing national governments, local governments, financial institutions, local finances, in order to finance urban basic services, the needs of the cities. And also that we have new phenomena like urban poverty, slums, inequalities, and quite an important number of challenges. But at the same time, it's very clear that the city is a source of development. The city is an engine of economical growth. As all the finance ministers know, most of the taxes are collected in the urban activities in the cities. And the population is migrating, is going to the cities, and this is why cities are growing. Cities are a human construct, it's a human creation that they have, as a lot of things in life, good size and bad size. In the good size is this capacity to generate wealth. In the bad size is this what the economists told externalities, congestion, contamination, and all the other problems of the urban areas. Of course, the main objective of a sound and good policy is to maximize the things that go well and minimize the things that they are not so good. And in that sense, UN Habitat stands for helping governments and national governments and also local governments to find the strategies to find out this sound and good way to improve the city. And in that sense, we promote a series of policies and a series of activities that I think that can help to have a better city. We promote and we advocate initially in order to have a national urban policy. A lot of countries, they have different national policies, energy policy, environmental policy, but not many, they have a urban policy. And I think that given the figures and the relevance of urbanization, the time has arrived for national government to have national urban policies. And issues at stake, the investment that we are talking about is so important that I think really that it's worth the trouble to have this strategy, mainly to coordinate the different sectors of the government in a common view about urbanization. We propose that the national urban policy be a clear and understandable one, mainly answering the question, where is our population today, and where do we expect the population to be in 20, 25 years, and what is the government ready to go in order to direct this process. We know by the economists' studies of cities that without national urban policy, the tendency, the spontaneous tendency of the population is to concentrate in bigger cities. Bigger and bigger cities attract more and more population. This is a kind of economical law that only can be readdressed by active policy in order to plan for a different reality. And this is, I think, what could be probably a good strategy through this national urban policy. The second point that we are advocating in rapid urbanizing countries is the planned city extensions. We know that cities, they are going to grow anyway, and then it's important that we take advantage of this knowledge and we plan in advance. We develop substantive at the scale of the needs plans for city extensions. Again, in the cities, also, if we don't plan for the future growth, the growth will happen anyway, and this growth will be unplanned. And the spontaneous way of urbanization is usually not a good urbanization. It ends up being a messy development, a congested, overcrowded, with not enough public space, etc. Problems, different problems of urbanization. I think that in India there's a very large number and well-known planned cities. And I think that there's no leapfrog for the planned city. I think that when we expect this growth, we need to take steps forward to plan as soon as possible. Of course, if we want to correct the things later on, it becomes much more expensive, much more difficult. It becomes also socially conflictive and sometimes with a lot of problems. And I think that in that sense it's much better, it's much, it's very wise to have a little bit of time and effort in planning in advance, and especially at the scale of the needs. Those are the two lines that from UN Habitat we are advocating worldwide now, and especially in the countries where urbanization is very fast. We know and we have had a very long-lasting relationship with India. By the way, a native from India was our first executive director in UN Habitat, then that we are very close to what is happening in India. And we really wish that you will have a very successful conference and that you will share with the rest of the world your immense experience and diversity in the issue of urbanization, since India has a long-lasting cultural tradition of urbanization in the very many different parts of the country. I wish you a productive and very good Municipalica.